In this video, I'm going to talk about NVIDIA's GTC conference, the new products that they released. I watched the show, conference, whatever you want to call it, last night. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. I have two book reviews that I'm going to do today. And what else am I talking about? And structure creates freedom. So let's first talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a semiconductor company. They make chips, all the graphic cards, and to make your computer faster. They're heavily involved in the AI technology revolution. And I watched the conference that they had last night. And to be honest, I have absolutely no clue what this guy is talking about. He was just talking about all this stuff. He said, listen, if you thought this was gonna be a concert, it's not a concert. I'm gonna be talking with like physics and blah, blah, blah. He made one, two corny jokes. Wasn't funny. He was like absolutely struggling. Somebody should teach this guy how to speak on stage, but he was just absolutely terrible. However, just going through that conference, um, I would assume all the people in the audience knew what this guy was talking about because that's what they came there, right? Also, they're probably investors. But one thing that I found to be quite interesting was me, I had known nothing about that. And I said to myself, why am I sitting here for 2 hours watching this thing? I have absolutely no clue what this guy's talking about. Based on the products that he was showing, I can see where AI technology is going, and it's really cool. But I don't know how the market would react to it because that's not in my wheelhouse, like the things that I know about, right? So for me, it was just quite interesting just watching it, and based on the market today, the way the stock is acting, it to me it doesn't seem like it was good. But I read something that's saying that they're going to release their um their their pricing for these new technologies. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens once they release that. One thing I did notice about that company as well, they work with pretty much everybody. Like there's not like one company that doesn't use these NVIDIA chips. And going forward in the future, a lot of products that we use are going to be using these chips. It's going to be making things faster and much better for us. So if you're looking for a company and you're into that like techie stuff or whatever, like the behind the scenes stuff, I would suggest looking at Nvidia. They're kind of like the how do you say, like they're the I don't even know the word to use, but they're just ahead of the curve right now. So that's one thing that I picked up from them. The next thing is I do want to shout out this cool water bottle that I got. This is the bootleg version, but this is like air up. So apparently you put this pod on it and it's supposed to smell like whatever the picture is or make your water taste like that. Doesn't really work for me that much, but that's what happens when you get all antsy and you want to try new things, right? So that was something that I purchased. I didn't pay for it. I used points, so it didn't hurt as bad to know that I spent the money on that. Next thing I want to go over is two book reviews. So this is called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. This book is a game changer. I heard somebody speaking, another panelist speaking about this book and how much it's changed his life and the kids that he coaches, their lives. And I said, you know what, let me go find this book and pick it up. So I picked up this book. I wrote down some notes. It's very interesting. I'm not even halfway through it, and it's something that I just can't put down. Like one thing that I wrote in here, I'll share with you guys is preparing for the worst to remain calm. Train out the negative. Play play out all the things that could go wrong. Your emotions, the emotions you would feel, all the scenarios that could go wrong. Practice these before doing so. It becomes normal. Working backwards to work out the faults. It's not to scare you, it's to prepare you. So those are the notes that I took based on one of the chapters that he wrote. And it's just very interesting, like his whole take on this book. I don't even know where he even came up with this, but one part in the book is talking about astronauts when they went to the moon, the first time that they went to the moon. The way they got trained was to train for all the problems that could potentially happen. And it makes sense because if that does happen for you, you'll know exactly what you'll need to do in that situation. So it's like just repeating the bad things over and over again. Like we want to prepare for all the great things to happen, but you have to be honest with yourself. Like bad things will happen. And if you don't prepare for it, you're going to go into panic mode. Your emotions are going to get involved, and it's going to be very hard for you to navigate. So, this book, Game Changer, I will be leaving my notes in the Wealth Builders Academy. And for those that don't know what the Wealth Builders Academy is, that's a school that I've launched on the school platform, skool.com. And that's the Wealth Builders Academy. So I teach you how to make money, multiply money, and manage your money. Not in that order, but that's the three pillars of the Wealth Builders Academy. So if you're looking for like-minded people to help you build wealth and boost up your confidence, I definitely recommend you to check that out. You can click down in the description below the link. It's free until April 1st. So depending on when you're watching this video, it may be free or there may be a cost associated with it. So if you're looking for like-minded people, make sure to join the Wealth Builders community. The next book review that I have is a kid book. Stay Away from Sneaky Snow Bunnies. Now this book there's a lot of controversy around it, but this book is absolutely hilarious. Like I couldn't stop laughing from like beginning to end. And not because of the title of the book, it's just the way the person wrote it. It's just like on point. And for those that are going to take offense to the title, there's a saying that they say, don't judge a book by its cover. And I'm just going to put it out there. So it's like Black men stay away from white women. And you could read it that way, but the way I interpret it is like, just stay away from people like, again, don't judge a book by its cover. Like the kids, they're playing with these bunnies that they think that are nice and cute, but then they have ulterior motives for them, right? Or yeah. And it's not just like Black men and white women, it's just people in general, right? And this book more so resonated with me because I've been taken advantage of. I think someone's nice, and then lo and behold, like they show their true colors to me, right? So it's not so much of like just the Black man, the white women. It's just in general, people use people. Like some people put a smile on their face and they're really stabbing you in your back. So it just, yeah, I really like the way this author wrote it, and I think this is it's by J-Star. I think he is going by a pen name because just the amount of people that would be just attacking him. Like the reviews on Amazon, like the majority of the reviews are actually good, and then there's maybe one, two bad ones. But for the most part, it was a well put together book. I like this book, so you can check it out. It's on Amazon. Stay away from sneaky snow bunnies. I'll leave it in the description below. Also, The Obstacle is the Way. So that's another good book. So I'm going to be talking about this book until I finish it. So every time you watch an episode, I'm going to just be giving you tidbits of it. But if you want the full breakdown of this book, Wealth Builders Academy. So I'll leave that down in the description below for you to join. Remember, it's free until April 1st. And then the last thing I want to talk about, structure creates freedom. And I was having a conversation with myself, also with one of my friends, and if you don't have structure, it's like, how are you going to make anything work the way you need it to work? And what I mean by that is like, for us, it's like trading options. If you don't have a plan, you're pretty much setting yourself up to fail. If you want to be able to make money with options, you need to have a plan. If you want to have a successful business, you need to have a plan. If you want to purchase a home, you need to have a plan. Anything that you want to do, you need to have a plan for it. Break down all the steps. Write down what your best I guess your best iteration of what you think needs to be done. Start there. Don't go on the internet looking for what people are telling you that you need to do, that you don't need to do. Start with just your basic rough draft. Like when you were in school, I remember all the time, teachers always told us, oh, do a rough draft, then do a second draft, and then do your final copy. The reason why they're telling you to do that, because they know there's going to be a lot of mistakes. Then a second set of eyeballs sees it, you do it again, and then they revise it, and then you have a finished copy. You'll have better structured that way than just going on the internet, finding what people say, get analysis paralysis, and then you don't end up doing anything. So just start with the raw basics. Once you figure out the raw basics, here's my thing that I wrote down. Once you find the raw basics, then go with I sent it to someone this morning. So you set it up. Whatever problems come up, write them down, diagnose them, figure out why these happen, then take those problems and then design a solution for them. What's that solution? You have that, try it again, and just keep doing this, and then over and over again, and then eventually you'll be going up. So that's what I want you to practice with creating your structure. Whatever it is that you want to do, start with just the basic skeleton, work on that, take that, improve it each time. You don't need to improve a lot, just a little bit each time. I thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. And if you haven't joined the Wealth Builders Academy yet, I left a link down below and also a description or a link up above for you to click. And I will see you inside of the Wealth Builders Academy.